it's important to play at knight a5.
I don't remember the first opening trap that I learned about, but I do remember the first classical tournament game that I played, which was also my first tournament game in general, featured a trap that I sadly fell for. So it goes like this. This is called the Englund Gambit. It's a terrible opening, don't play it. And you go here. And the idea is to regain the pawn. At this point, I was 8.5. I'd never seen this opening before. And so I chose to defend the pawn with the bishop, which is an excellent move. Now comes the point. Black goes here with the queen. Now, if white blocks the check with the bishop, white is generally much better. Again, don't try this at home. I didn't do that. I went here with my queen. And now, sadly, once black takes this pawn, white is already lost. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was just thinking, bring out the queen, don't move the same piece twice, etc. Evidently, I didn't think enough. And now the idea is that the rook is trapped, and if you go here, protecting the rook, just like in Harry Potter, the bishop comes out and pins the queen. And if that isn't bad enough, white, trying not to lose both the queen and the rook, will probably try and go back with the bishop. Then you take the queen, you take with the bishop, protecting the rook, and this is a most embarrassing checkmate. So I don't remember exactly what I did. What I do know is that I lost this game swiftly and I didn't fall for this trap again, and I hope you don't either.
Now, opening trap actually used quite a few times, and I managed to win a few games very, very quickly by a checkmate within 10 moves. So it's super fast. It goes like d4, knight f6, c4. I used to play e5. This is called the Budapest Gambit. Usually white takes on e5. Yeah, now we attack this pawn by playing knight to g4. It's a trap! White protects, knight to f3. We attack again, knight to c6. White is trying to protect again, bishop f4. I go bishop b4, check. Now, knight d2. I played queen to e7, attacking the pawn on e5 again. And here, many players played a3, which is still a good move, attacking the bishop. And I took on e5. And some careless people did take the bishop on b4. One may wonder what can be wrong with that, but here the checkmate followed knight to this knight.
So like one of the early kind of serious ones that I learned, and this was kind of topical at the time, which started in the Italian, and then here, and then knight g5, which attacks f7, which is like, if you're kind of new to chess, then you probably immediately think like, why can't I just attack that pawn and take it, and then I'll attack the queen and the rook and so on. The only way for black to kind of avoid that is to play d5, which is the best move. And then white takes a pawn, and the big question is always like, why can't black take back? Which you can, of course. It's not, you don't lose immediately or anything. But the usual point of this, which is called the fried liver, is that now white sacrifices a knight. Black takes, otherwise black's just losing everything. And then we give a check here, which not only gives a check, but also attacks the knight. And most people who are kind of new to chess, they're already totally unsure of what to do with black here, because they move their king back, and then you take here, and you're up a pawn for nothing. Or even worse for them, sometimes they go here, and then not only are you up a pawn, but you're checkmating. And the knight can't go anywhere because of the pin. So the only possible good move, which is not even so bad, is king to e6, and then you're up a piece, but you have this like serious pin, which lasts a really long time. And this is kind of like an opening trap called the fried liver. I think ends up being not the worst opening trap to fall into with black, because you can kind of hang on to your knight and hope for the best with your king on e6. But this was like one of the really topical openings as a kid for me. And then I remember that at some point it was like, oh, knight takes f7 is not even the best move. There's actually d4, which that was like some kind of revelation. Like, wow, there's even better than knight takes f7. But in my opinion, knight takes f7 is the best move. And if you ever get this position, you should be pretty happy, because then you just, black will, for example, Magnus played this against Ali Rosa. He played knight c7 in a bullet game, so I don't know if you can take it with a grain of salt. But it's not a very good position. I think after d4, it's like kind of disaster for black. And I think he also lost the bullet game, so for Red Liver, it's really fun. I actually would love to see like a kind of thematic tournament where you have some not totally losing, but kind of dubious opening traps like this.
There was a opening play like this, e4, e5. I think first one should be this one. e4, e5, bishop c4. I think we call this bishop opening, because next move is queen h5 and to checkmate. And as a beginner, I think a lot of kids will play bishop c5, try to play like with white. And here we go queen h5, and some people will think that we're gonna eat this pawn and to protect, and we just take it. I think this is a kind of like opening trap.
And did you ever win a game as a child using this?
Of course, because I think every child will win like this. Yeah, because it's easy, and nowadays if you like teach some like a beginner, and they will also do it.
I think I'll just put it on my board, and it's like this. This is also a very sharp lines, especially for beginners. And black need to play this because attack. And here you cannot go this move because of this move. Because this is attack with queens and rooks. If you play this, you can take, but after queen f3, then you can take back with this. Then after that, your king is moved, and also white is a pawn up. So this is a famous trap for the beginners. And also, it's important to play like knight a5. That I think for many teachers, for a beginner of chess player, they will teach cannot play this move.
That's interesting. That was the first
Yeah.
I lost with the black pieces
Oh, you lost?
to this trap, so that's
Oh.
how I learned it. And
Oh,
I-
don't take this one. Okay.